What's really good? You rocking with your boy Czar, all rights reserved. I'm coming to you today to talk about something that's crazy. Diplomats. Is there a setup to get the diplomats out of the game one by one? We won't know until something happens to Camron, but to date, 3 out of 4 have been ousted in some type of issue. Um, let's go with it. First off, we got Hell Rell, who we seen. A lot of people are trying to take rep and say, different things are happening. They can't respect him no more because of incidents, run-ins. He's been attacked by ordinary people we don't really know, but probably are local people. Um, Another person now that's out the mix, Juelz Santana, after going to the airport, and we see that his issue is bigger than life. He's been targeted, and now he himself is out of the mix. He has to ride with his mother. He cannot be there if he is not with someone to watch over him in the incident. That's good for him, though. He could still get busy, make money, do his thing with the diplomats. Another person now who we see was in the mix, but now is being counted out, or let's say targeted out, because that's the only way I could basically put it, is Jim Jones. Jim Jones in Atlanta was caught with multiple weapons, but he was not driving, he himself. And let's not say he was caught allegedly. Everyone else in the car, whoever the owner of the car, was caught with it, and he was in the back seat. He had prescription for the drugs that are oxycodone that were found, but there was also marijuana and some other things. So now we see that these big name artists are being targeted to issues. The only person we have left to see is Camron. If it doesn't happen to him, there's no telling what the target or what the motive behind them doing what they're doing is. Obviously, it's to make money, but there's always a deeper view that we don't see, a deeper perspective that have to do with their behavior, it seems. I don't know what this is going to lead to. All we know is that Camron is the lead man with this group, and it seems that his team's being taken out one by one off an incident. And they're not rolling light. Like, these guys really got guys with them. So it's a very much so bigger picture than we presumed in the beginning. We don't know what's really going on. This is where it gets fishy. This is where we need some answers. Diplomats are about to go on tour, and it's incident after incident taking them off the scene. Now, Jim Jones made bail, but I don't know what his tour is going to be like for him. I don't know if he's going to need the same stipulations in order to be able to travel. So it's really bigger than life. Like, the picture that's being made is bigger than we thought it was. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's expected. There's many different views to a situation, but right now all we see is that diplomats are getting torn apart because of issue after issue. Why is this? I don't really get it. I don't know what's going on. And I know a lot of them probably don't know what's going on either. But ultimately, it's going to be that everyone better be on their best behavior except Camron at this point. So that's Juelz Santana, that's Hell Rell, and that's Jim Jones as of yesterday that are down because they have a legal issue. Well, let's say civil or legal issues they are dealing with. What do you think is going to become of the diplomats? I mean, is Camron next? If something happens to Camron, we can all speculate that these are incidents targeting diplomats only. Camron, who's been a long time rapper in the game, along with Jim Jones, Juelz, and Hell Rell, is now looking at a team that's held down by situations. You know what I mean? When things get situational, it's not a clear view on what is supposed to happen or what is going on. All we know is that these individuals can no longer ride around freely and do what they were doing before. They're held to certain standards now they have to keep. We don't have any answers on why they got targeted, why they were attacked. But I know my viewers are beginning to think like, wait, one by one, the diplomats have been dropping. We seen Hell Rell in the situation. We never really thought much of it. We seen Juelz. I personally didn't think much of it when I seen Juelz go down. Now I'm starting to see that Jim Jones going down. I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? It could be any artist getting caught, but it's these guys specifically being caught. Are authorities targeting diplomats? Did they know that Jim Jones was in the car? Did they know? Did Juelz know that he had that other stuff in his luggage? And people were laughing at the fact he ran away. To be honest, that lets me know that he probably didn't know that was there. And if he did, you know what I mean, it was at some point earlier that was there. He wasn't trying to cause issue further. He was like, I gotta see what's going on. So he left the scene to try and get some clarification on why that was in his thing from dealing with other people. And you could tell he's a soldier with it, because he's not speaking on it, he's not talking about it. He's just ready to face the music, it seems, because these are very serious charges, especially in the airport. Jim Jones' charges are serious, but regarding the fact he was in the back seat, he wasn't in the front seat, he wasn't directly influenced or involved in the situation, we can't put him out there and say, yeah, you're the fault of this. You're the reason behind this. Now it gets a little different. The viewpoints, what's actually going on, the fact that it's major stars, what these major stars are doing with their free time. These things are all playing a factor into what we know to be the Jim Jones and the, let's say, influential individuals of the diplomatic immunity movement we've been used to as we grew up. In high school, that was what a lot of people were into. I don't have the answers to why these guys are carrying the things they are or doing what they're doing. All I could see as of yet is that these guys are now in danger of a lot of different things not going the way they want. You know what I mean? It's not turning out how they thought it was. And that, I guess, is the target, but that is not a good thing. That is not something that we want to see of these big time artists that are supposed to deliver the best music we've heard once again. Now their minds are focused on other things, being that they have to figure out their cases before they can figure out how to make better music, to keep their freedom. Now Juelz is set up to go. Hell Rell already backed out as a lot of stuff was happening to him. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with that situation. But are people trying to exploit the diplomats? And I don't know whether or not that they're going to perform their hits. They had new music lined up. But as of now, he's not going to have a full team that was performing and that had things set up and going down the way he wanted. So what's your thoughts on this? I mean, I sat over it, I looked over it, and I was thinking objectively, and I don't know whether it's that it's some act of karma seeking them for their lifestyles they've been living all this time, but what I do know is that these individuals are off the tour normally because of something like this, but with stipulations are able to make it back. Are we going to see Hell Rell make it back? He's the only one that doesn't have a legal issue, and Camron. If Camron gets hit with something next, we then know that there's a target on the diplomats. It could be coincidental, it could be situational, but this is all happening this year at this time. Why now? You know what I mean? Why now when these guys are declaring that they're going to be on tour, that they're going to be traveling and doing different things? It's just a lot of foolery that is around their names when maybe they weren't making the finances that we all presumed when they were getting on that stage or when they were representing, because they're doing other things us average people get caught up in, but they're getting caught by police as well. The police obviously know who they are when they catch up with them. The TSA agent thing in the airport really can't be avoided because these are individuals that are meant to stop people from getting on a plane. So this incident cannot be defined. Although we do know that it is a very, very, very coincidental thing that has a lot of people up in arms wondering what's actually going on, as well as me. I don't have any answers to it, but I will have more content dropping on more specific things. I just want to briefly mention this because it's what's happening now. It's what these guys like have targets on their backs. Do you think Diplomats are going to have a successful tour, being that they have to deal with these issues? Juelz Santana cannot ride with the gang, so he's not going to be in the same atmosphere, gaining the same, let's say, intensity. Is this going to affect the tour greatly? And is Camron next? Well, let's see. All rights reserved.